next week living with the 2024 Mercedes GLS 580, the largest SUV in the Mercedes lineup that was just recently refreshed. So let's see what it's like. We have the GLS parked here in the driveway, and immediately you'll see the new front end, especially the grille. The previous pre-refresh model had these 4 chrome segments. Instead, now we've got these like louvers in this dark silver finish. I think it's called shadow silver that goes across the entire grille. You still obviously have the very large 3-pointed star up front. It is quite substantial, like hand and watch for scale. It is massive. They've also redone the lower fascia. The headlights with the DRLs have changed slightly. We'll see that better at night. But with that, let's head off. We'll spend more time checking out the exterior and interior. We're gonna head off to the office. Quick glimpse at the screens. It's a cold start. This does have a 4-liter twin-turbo V8, but again, this is not the AMG model. This is the GLS 580. We do have soft closed doors, so you just gently let it latch, and it pulls itself shut. I was on the ambient light settings from yesterday, but let's go to massage. I want to start today with a activating massage. Good way to start the day. Wrapping up my day at work and about to head home in the GLS. Let's do a quick exterior walk around. So this is a GLS 580, which sits in about the middle of the lineup. There is an entry-level one with the inline 6, and then above it we have the GLS63 AMG, which is much sportier, and then the Maybach, which is much more luxurious. This one is riding on 22-inch AMG-style wheels. You still have a good amount of tire sidewall here, despite 22-inch wheels, multi-spoke design. We see that updated front end styling too that we mentioned earlier. The new lower front fascia, the new grille, updated lights too. Looks classy, premium. I like this blue a lot. And we have fixed side steps here. They don't extend, they don't retract, they just sit there. And they're not too big. I actually hit my ankle on the Maybach ones because those extend out like an entire foot. This is a bit more reasonable of a side step. And it has adjustable height air suspension, so it would have different ride heights. This looks like it's in a more lower entry exit type of convenience. And then coming around to the back, they did update the taillights too. We'll see that better when it's really dark out. We have the GLS 580 4MATIC all-wheel drive badge. And then down here we've got outboard silver exhaust tips. And looks like this one has the towing package in the middle. With that, let's hop inside. This blue looks quite nice. As the sun is setting, matches the dark brown interior pretty nice. We have a trip back to Michigan this week, and I have a slightly ridiculous amount of stuff to bring, especially camera gear. Fortunately, the GLS is quite large, so we're gonna load up the back of the SUV. I'm gonna go ahead and pop the trunk. There we go, and I think I already nope, not yet. So we got a fold down seats, and you can see this is a space with a 3rd row folded up, which I definitely will need more than that. So we're gonna fold down the 3rd row. Let's see. That's the 2nd row button. Here's the 3rd row. I think this is for lowering the air suspension in the back to make it easier to load, but 3rd row, let's put these seats down. Did you guys see that? The 2nd row actually moved a little bit forward so the 3rd row would clear. That's clever. And we still have this bar here, which I think I'm gonna leave because I don't have anything super tall. This would clip in like that. It's a little shade to hide if you were to have something back here so people can't see it through your rear windshield. Plenty of space, all loaded up. We'll go ahead and close the trunk, and off we go. All right, we're about to head out to Michigan. It's gonna be a bit over a 5-hour drive. Hopefully we'll get there right before midnight. And I'm also hoping the traffic isn't too terrible, but we will get to test out the comfort, the luxury of this new GLS, and definitely the driver assisted systems. Of course, we've already hit some traffic, so we're gonna try out the Mercedes Distronic system here. We've got stop and go active because of the lower speeds, the lane keeping. I do not think this is a hands-free system though. Adaptive cruise control is going. Let's see what this system is like. My personal standard of comparison for these driver assistance systems, especially those that have some sort of hands-free element on the freeway, is going to be the GM Super Cruise system. I think it is one of the best in the Cadillac Escalade and the Hummer and some of the trucks. It is such a good system, and I've grown to really like and trust it when I'm on the freeway. Recently tried out the Lincoln Active Glide in the Navigator, which was good. Not quite Super Cruise good, but definitely also good. So let's see how this Mercedes Distronic compares to the GM Super Cruise system. I changed the cluster to the assistance screen, which has some really nice graphics. Look at that. And then if I do a lane change, it will do a lane change on its own. You saw even the turn signal. If I do encounter some traffic, the brake lights light up on this little model of the GLS. Very, very nice graphics on this main screen here. See that? The auto high beams like gradually fade in when they need to be on, and then in a moment, let's see if they'll turn off on their own. They don't just cut out like some other systems, they gradually fade their way out. You see that? Sport mode. This is the 4-liter twin-turbo V8. No, it's not a GLS63, but it's still pretty quick. It's not bad. And just like that, 5.5 hours later, we have arrived back in Michigan. Check out the overhead view camera, and oh, does it have the 360? Ooh, look at that. That was a fun touch. Also, look what I discovered. So you see the interior ambient lighting is this kind of aqua blue color. If I toggle the temperature up, that part turns red. I go down, it turns like a blue. You can do both sides, driver, passenger, so forth. That's actually a really, really cool touch. With that, I'm gonna head in, get some sleep, and we'll pick this back up tomorrow. This blue is looking quite nice in the sunshine with the shadow trim there. Looks like I did kill a lot of bugs last night too. But we are off to a quick little event. How are we doing on fuel? I think this is averaging low to mid 20s MPG, 124 miles empty, so we will fuel up before the weekend. It's warm today, 87 degrees. Go for the cooled seats here. Also have the heated seats, which also heats the armrests on this side and the center right here. Something that's slightly disappointing at this price point is the fact that we still have a fuel filler cap. Would have thought everything is capless now. I've been spending a good amount of time with the GLS this week, driving it all the way out from Chicago to Michigan, and thinking about how it compares to some of the other full-size luxury SUVs that I've spent time with. Recently, the Lincoln Navigator Black Label, the Cadillac Escalade, the Jeep Grand Wagoneer, the BMW X7. If you're willing to spend between $100,000 to $130,000 on a full-size 3-row luxury SUV, you do have a good amount of options, and they all offer their own little take on the segment. The American ones feel the biggest, the most truck-like in the way they drive, they handle, they ride. Whereas the German, like the GLS, it feels like it drives a class smaller, almost closer to a GLE in the way that it's maneuverable, the handling and so forth. It doesn't feel quite as massive and lumbering when you're trying to park it and drive it. It's very smooth, from the twin-turbo V8 with a mild hybrid system, the 9-speed automatic transmission, the air suspension, all the things. It does handle and drive very nicely for its size. We're gonna put the GLS into sport mode and see how this handles some curves, roundabouts. For something this big, with air suspension though, see how the body roll's actually not too terrible. That's pretty impressive. It's a lot of size and weight, but the fact that when you go through a roundabout like that, body stays relatively balanced. That's the beauty of air suspension, while it can still be very, very comfortable. I just had an absolutely phenomenal time driving that GT4 RS, did the full review. So today the GLS is serving as my camera support vehicle. See, I've got the back full of all sorts of camera gear, from my Pelican case to tripod sliders. Have the third row folded down. We brought the GLS to Cars and Coffee, not to show off specifically because it's a giant luxury SUV, but more so as just transport. That GT4 RS though, man, that was that was a properly special car. Getting back in the GLS is going to make this feel even more of a big land yacht, which it is, but I don't think you can get further across the automotive spectrum from this to that. Track-focused mid-engine Porsche Flat 6 to the very comfortable, luxurious, and smooth full-size GLS 580. Yeah, we're going to do a proper interior tour in a moment. I got to pack up some camera gear. First, let's take a quick glance at the window sticker so we know some of the major options on this GLS 580. It's a 2024 model year, brand new. It's the refreshed one. Suggested retail base price at $112,000. As option, we're at $123,460. It has plenty of equipment as standard for a six-figure full-size luxury SUV, right? We have the 4-liter Biturbo V8 mild hybrid, 510 horsepower, 538 pound-feet of torque, 9-speed automatic transmission, 4MATIC, air suspension, tons of tech luxury features, safety security features. It's in twilight blue metallic. This is very, very nice light blue paint there. Over Bahia Brown. I think that's a new color combo for this model year. And we have natural grain gray oak wood trim. That's this wood trim here in the middle. You can feel the actual wood grain, which is always a very nice touch. And then we have wood leather steering wheel. We have the acoustic comfort package, which probably has to do with the double pane windows, like there's a little more isolated and quiet. What else? 7-seat configuration, MB Tex, Mercedes-Benz Tex door trim, the 22-inch wheels, trailer hitch. What else? Exclusive wood trim package. Okay, here are the big ones. Warmth and comfort package, which is rapid heating rear seats, heated front armrests and door panels, heated armrest and rear. We've got the executive rear seat package plus luxury center console things, wireless charging, heated ventilated rear seats, massage, the night package, black elements front splitter. Okay, I think that's blacked out trim. The pinnacle trim heads-up display, air balance, heated, cooled front. Oh, yeah, the cup holders, those are heated and cooled. And destination delivery, so $123,460. So let's do an interior tour of the GLS 580. We have this brown leather here, and yes, this part does warm up when you turn your heated seats on. It's actually very, very nice. You can feel the grain of the wood. Seat controls here on the door, heating, cooling, and this allows you to control the passenger side from the driver's side. The regular Burmeister sound system still has this metal speaker grill that's machined out, and that's very, very nice touch on all of these models. Some stitching here, and then plenty of space on. You see I've got two very large water bottles down in this compartment. That's the trunk release. We have the metal Mercedes-Benz door sill plate here, the fixed side step, which doesn't stick out very far. It's enough to get in, but this also has adjustable height air suspension, so you can change it. It's easier to get in and out. It's not absolutely necessary in my opinion. Also helps add to the look a little bit. Those have AMG branded floor mats. I'm not personally a huge fan of when they do that on a non-AMG model, like there is a GLS 63, and this is not it. It's a 580, but part of the branding touches. The seats here are fairly comfortable. Got a bit of cross stitching here, like horizontal pattern. I will say the leather quality, it doesn't feel like real leather. It seems like that Mercedes-Benz Tex stuff. It's not as soft as what I would expect in a vehicle of this caliber. The Lincoln Navigator Black Label I was just driving had softer leather. My Audi A8 has much nicer leather. The fit and finish is good, but I'm not too impressed with the quality of leather. Like the steering wheel leather is way nicer. It's like the smooth, really high quality stuff. If you're in an S-Class, right? This is supposed to be the S-Class of the SUVs in a Mercedes lineup. I think those are a bit nicer. But we have those two massive 12.3-inch screens. We've got air vents here. The rectangular versus the kind of the big circle turbine kind of model ones that you see on some of the other Mercedes models now. This here is not an air vent, but on the left side here, driver's side, it is. Two 12.3-inch screens. Soft close door. Oh, here's a complaint. At this price point, we should have a suede headliner. This is just like rough cloth. One of my friends was like, well, you don't touch it, but again, at this price point, these luxury vehicles, they all have the suede headliner, and when you do touch it, it feels much, much nicer. So I'm a little disappointed this does not have that. I've learned the screens, I've gotten used to them. They are very, very nice, very sharp, crystal clear. It does have a very steep learning curve. It's complicated, the controls, but that also means there is so much to it that you can do. You can just pull up CarPlay, right? That works fine. It's got wireless CarPlay. But if you go back to the home system, we have built-in navigation, which also has some pretty nice graphics. It works well. It's got this like 3D mode to it. No, I want to go back home. Phone, radio, media, apps. Like there's a lot. Comfort, that's your seat controls. Massage, I'm frequently on this menu. Off-road, it is decently off-road capable. There's like an extra package that adds a couple of things to it, but plenty of technology here. Not sure how many people are really hardcore off-roading their GLSs. Maybe G-Wagons get more of that, who knows. But you can see the graphics, the swipe, everything, like the responses are great on the screen in both touchscreen interface, and we have the touchpad here, which I've gotten used to. There's a little like hand rest here, and go through that, swiping back and forth for changing tracks, and you can toggle around. I found myself kind of 50-50 whether I'm using this or reaching for the touchscreen. Just, I don't know if it's ease of reach or whatever. Oh, hi Syed, yes. And then down here we've got various controls. This toggles our drive modes. How do I mute that? Quiet. And then, where's this? Drive modes here, volume toggle, and then we got like some hotkeys for, this is the camera. You see the surround view camera here, and we can go to the, wait, that didn't mean to save that one. That means it automatically activates when I pull up here. What's this one? Yeah, it can like pan around, the 3D mode. Pretty cool, right? Go back to auto. There we go. And then we have the center display here, the driver information cluster. This is the regular mode, but if I go down, I can go to sport mode, which gets all red and aggressive and shows my torque and horsepower, which increments are, wait, 80, 160, 230. This has like 530 something pound-feet of torque. It does have 510 horsepower, so increments are kind of funky. Engine data from temperatures, G-forces. Let's see how many G's we'll pull on this. That's for the GLS63. That's for that one. And then we can go to this understated one, which you lose your tachometer. That is no longer a tachometer anymore on the right. That's a clock, right? Yeah, that's a clock. It's 427, yep. And then on the left, you see the mile per hour gauge where it kind of shadows out, so only lights up where the needle is pointing. But then you can also go full screen into navigation. You can go to driver assistance, which has pretty cool, I showed that earlier, I think, off-road. So yeah, you can see the graphics are very, very nice. Turn on driver massage seat.
I'm switching on the massage on the driver's seat.
It's pretty handy, because sometimes it takes you a bit longer to dig through and find, yep, my massage is now running, comfort. Yeah, quite nice. We have heated and cooled seats here with the seat control on the door. Mercedes puts them on the door here. And then we have these little pillows too. Little pillows. It's like a halfway to the Maybach. Let's see. Soft close door. Oh yeah, the pillow's nice. Mercedes does a good job with that. Oh, I've got so much space here. Look at all that leg room. The driver's seat is where I would be at 6'3". Tons of headroom here. It makes sense because on this platform they build the GLS Maybach, which is like a private jet for the road. The back seats on the Maybach make the Cullinan and Bentayga feel feeble in comparison. It is absolutely amazing. A fold-out tray tables, everything. I really love the GLS Maybach. It's truly, truly impressive. This, again, more mainstream GLS580, but on this architecture, this platform, this size, they can do that. Third row, we just have cargo stuff back there, so nothing back there.
Say hi.
What are you doing?
Say hi to my fans.
Get in the car.
Uber drive.
Uber drive. We've picked up the dentist and the pharmacist.
This leather is
not impressed?
Disgusting.
Or it's not. Is it like, is your E63 has better leather?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little
This is like
coarse.
What is it called?
MB Tex, I think.
I don't know. It's not even good.
All right,
Yeah,
G63
I know.
owner. Everybody's got AMGs. What?
It looks kind of the inside of this, like kind of.
Mercedes is not gonna like this.
I own a G-Wagon. If this is going to Mercedes, you need to really improve the interior infotainment system of the G-Wagon. It's really dated.
Actually, the E is really good though.
Yeah, this is good. This MBUX is actually
Ours
quite
is
good.
garbage.
Touchscreen and everything, it works. Are you sure you're not just using it wrong because you're old?
No, because I'm old. No.
Have you touched the screen yet?
You know, they do not have a touch screen.
No, I'm saying, have you even tried it? Maybe it is touchscreen.
It's not touchscreen.
Okay.
Trust me. Trust me.
Just making sure.
The BMW X5 had a touchscreen, and I'm shocked that Mercedes-Benz, you really have let down G-Wagon owners considerably.
Well, this 2024 model, your GLS, has a touchscreen, so...
Does it have wireless CarPlay? And
Yep, it already connected. I'm going to turn on your massage seats,
nice.
Jose.
I always use a massage seat.
Yep. I can also...
That is one of my favorite features.
But this leather is gross.
Yeah, I honestly, I was kind of surprised by the leather.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You're trying to crunch me? Oh my God.
Now that we've really gotten to know the GLS580, let's give this a mini review. So the powertrain in the 580 iteration of the GLS is kind of in the middle. It's the 4-liter twin-turbo V8 mild hybrid system, and in this trim, it makes 510 horsepower and 538 pound-feet of torque, which is definitely a very healthy and competitive output. There is a lower tier 3.0 inline 6 available. That's 375 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque. And then there are the upper tier ones, the GLS63 AMG, which still has the 4-liter, but that's over 600 horsepower, 600 pound-feet of torque. And then there's the Maybach version, which is again also that 4-liter twin-turbo V8, and that makes the same torque figure, 538, but the horsepower is increased to 550. To me, the fact that this is over 500 horsepower, 500 pound-feet of torque is very good because it beats out some of the rivals. So if you look at the Cadillac Escalade, the Jeep Grand Wagoneer, and the Lincoln Navigator, their regular mainstream models do not touch this in terms of power output. The torque numbers get a bit more close, but in terms of pure power output, the GLS 580 with the twin-turbo V8 wins. Obviously, we have something like the Escalade V, which is absolutely ridiculous. But then we have the GLS 63, which those two really are the two full-sized luxury performance SUV competitors if you want to spend a lot of money, but also have a ton of power and performance. But for this GLS 580, I think it's a good balance of the torque. It's a very smooth powertrain combination. This 4-liter twin turbo V is, I mean, it's in like every Mercedes, from the AMG models to the regular mainstream ones, and it's a good combination. Smooth torque output with the 9-speed automatic transmission. Everything about it comes together very, very nicely, and it definitely drives better than the Lincoln Navigator Black Label I recently spent time with. That felt just much bigger and lumbering in comparison to this, which nimble is not the right word to describe a full-size 3-row SUV, but it's, again, drives a class smaller than I would have expected. And this is not even the full-out AMG model. Air suspension is adjustable height that does go into an off-road mode where you can raise it even higher. Is this a truly off-road capable SUV? I wouldn't take it that far, but it'll get you into a campsite or up a muddy trail or through the snow or something like that, which really is what matters to somebody buying in this segment. Some other numbers, I mean, 0 to 60 in 4.7 seconds. I mentioned 4MATIC, all-wheel drive on this one, the 9-speed automatic transmission, and I've been doing decent with fuel economy, 21.6 mpg over 638 miles of driving, and that's a fairly good split of highway, city, stop and go. Probably 300-400 of that was on the highway already. Now, in terms of exterior styling, I think this refresh looks very nice, especially that updated grille. It looks more premium versus the individual segments on the pre-refresh model. But the AMG one with the Panamericana grille and then the blingy over-the-top Maybach ones are going to still be the ones that stand out the most from an exterior styling standpoint. Compared to some of the other rivals, I think the German ones present a more elegant approach to it, whereas presence is what the American luxury SUVs go for. You have an Escalade or the Grand Wagoneer or the Navigator, they just seem bigger and more imposing despite similar class sizes and things like that. Now, this does also evoke the rest of the Mercedes family when you see the various styling things, but it's good. I like the blue over brown color combination. The 22-inch wheels fit the size of this vehicle nicely. So overall, that's pretty good, and it definitely looks upscale with the very nice LED lighting signatures and so forth. On the inside, that's what is also really, really important on a vehicle of this class. So it's supposed to be the S-Class of the SUVs, right? And for sure, without a doubt, the Maybach is. The Maybach GLS, I think, is just as nice as the sedan S-Class one. It's like a private jet for the road, and it's ridiculously nice. From the pillows, to the champagne glasses, to the material leather, the tech comfort, everything. It's tremendous. Now, this has a more mainstream offering that's obviously a lower price point. I've talked about it throughout this entire vlog. It's got a lot of great technology implementation. It's spacious, comfortable, nice touches from the metal speaker grills to the 12.3-inch screens here across with the latest Mercedes-Benz UX. But I am a little let down by some of the material choices, the quality of the leather, especially compared to other vehicles in this price point and segment. I have gotten very comfortable with the Mercedes-Benz UX system. I've heard complaints about previous generations of this. One of my friends actually bought an E63S wagon, and his principal gripe with it, it was his dream car for so long. His principal complaint was he just didn't like the UI, and he actually got rid of the car to pick up a Panamera. So that must have been real bad. Now, I haven't spent as much time with the previous iteration, but this one still has a steep learning curve. It has so much functionality. You go through some of these menus, the things you can adjust, the features, the tech is tremendous. Just going to off-road thing, you swipe over. I mean, it's got so much. I can use the keypad actually, or the little touchpad here. Let's see. Go over to off-road. It pulls up like all this stuff here. There's my off-road cockpit, from my which wheels getting which power to my, I think that's steering angle, my elevation, but then also the luxury convenience features. If I go over the comfort, for the seating, my massage. I do need to turn on my massage seats actually. Yep, there we go. Ambient lighting. Like, there's so much going on here. It does have wireless CarPlay. I've been running that. My phone and my wireless charger down there. This one also has that heated and cooled cup holder. Yeah, let me just cool my little audio recorder that's sitting in the cup holder. The steering wheel does have the latest touch buttons here. They have little divots to try to eliminate the accidental triggering, but I have definitely increased the volume randomly when I was hand-over-hand turning or something, or accidentally pressed some stuff. I wonder if over time you get even more used to it, you don't accidentally do that. Second row space is pretty good. We've got the tablet with the executive second row, which has massage, heated, cooled, and so forth. So, in summary, it's a very nice place to be. Materials, I would give it just an average for the class and segment. I complain a lot about the headliner, and people say, well, when are you touching the headliner? For me, it's part of the overall atmosphere of a luxury vehicle like this. You're getting things that you don't necessarily need, right? Does anybody need something at this level? No, like a Telluride would suffice for a lot of people, but you're talking about a Mercedes GLS. So that's a complaint. It is very isolated, very quiet, very smooth, comfortable. You don't feel the outside world, and that definitely is good. Now, about the value. This one is optioned right to $123,000, just over that. And that's essentially the same price as the Navigator Black Label I just spent a week with. I think the Navigator had more comfortable seats, better massage seats, better interior materials. This drives better, rides a bit more isolated, and I think has more of the modern tech. But then this also loses out on the driver assistance setup. It just has the basic Distronic. And I don't know if you can get a more advanced version, but the Lincoln Active Glide and GM Super Cruise system is definitely a lot more advanced in that you can go full hands-free, and it works fantastic. The power is worth something, because this is way more power and a lot better driving and faster than the Lincoln Navigator for the same money. So that does have it going for it. So those are some of my thoughts on the GLS580 4MATIC after spending a week living with it. Hope you guys enjoyed this vlog, seeing what it was like to spend time with it. Thanks for watching. Bonus late night clip. Check out this interior ambient lighting. So it actually changes color. That upper is currently that blue, and the lower is like a lighter yellow color. But now see, that top color is shifting, it's switching. And now around the door handle and the footwell, it's going to the blue, and the top is now the yellow, and then it'll cycle back through. I didn't realize that until as I was driving at night. I was like, is it just me, or are the lights changing shades? I had it set to like a orange to red. That was a little more subtle, but changes here that really show the difference. Yeah, look at that as it cycles through. That's pretty cool. And then also, we have a form of gesture control, so like, I swipe my hand over there, that light illuminates. And then you swipe your hand. Oop, I just hit the steering wheel by accident. But yeah, it's gesture control. Light on, light off. Light on, light off. Check out the puddle lamps too. So when you unlock, you get the Mercedes logo right here, very clearly projected. And then when you open the door, that shifts over to this side with the little star pattern thing. That's pretty cool. Okay, let me pull this tablet out. Ooh, look at that. We can do so many different things. Comfort. So this is the second row massage seats. Go relaxing massage. I am in the left seat right now. And then ambient light. That's what I want to do. I think I should be able to change everything here. Color. This just essentially mirrors the infotainment screen up front with all the controls. So if I go to, let's try this one. Venice Pink. Ooh. What else can we control on this tablet? The seat? Lumbar, positioning. Oh wow. Wait, I can move the whole... Ah! Oh yeah, the entire seat back is currently angling forward and back. Wow. That's so cool. Alright, with that, we're gonna actually end this video. Good night. And say goodbye to the GLS 580.